let's get back into the rest of Nick's wife's testimony and see if we can figure out what's going on here. This is so strange, so wild.
These up on the screen.
Here we go.
Now, I'm actually going to put these up on the screen, if I may, Your Honor, so I'll seek to tender them first. I'm going to hand you exhibits 1.93 through 1.99. Can you just take a look at them and tell us if you recognize them?
I do.
Are those a fair and accurate depiction of what you provided to law enforcement in conjunction with this case?
Yes. I believe I provided more than this too, but yes, these I did provide. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And are those just exact duplicates of what you've turned over, just not in color?
Wow.
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time I seek to introduce 1.93 through 1.99.
No objection, Your Honor. All right, they're all admitted. It's a total of 7 exhibits, but they are admitted without objection.
I'm now going to open and publish exhibit 1.93, slide 1. Would it be fair to say that that's what you have in front of you is 1.93?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we got
I'm
the
gonna
Twitter
scroll in
messages.
here.
What did they say? Oh, we get to see the whole
Can you
thing.
see the name of the tweet that was sent from
Wow.
to you?
Yes, it's KJ Stark.
Okay. And is that what you were referring to earlier when you referenced late September first speaking with Mr. Stark?
This is getting spicy.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that here you have sort of an announcement on the public page about you selling the books?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And as a result, is that why, or when you received rather, the response from Mr. Stark concerning the purchase of the books that you were selling?
Yeah, so what he's done here is he took like my public tweet and he kind of like quote tweeted in a message and then wrote his message beneath it. Yep.
Would that be the message that he sent to you?
Yes.
And when was that sent?
September 24th, 2022.
Are they going to read
in
it?
that post that he sent to you, did he
Hey, Sam, just putting in an order, a long overdue one, if I'm being honest. Also, if you ever need to talk, I'm a good listener. I'm here. I'm sure you've got a great support system, but sometimes it can be easier to talk to someone you don't know as well. And if not, that's fine too. Just wanted to extend the offer. I hope you're as well as possible considering.
offer to communicate with you?
Yes, he did.
And if you look at the top of this post, was he aware that you were going through a divorce at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And as a result, did you respond?
Yes, I did.
And you indicated earlier that that's not common. Is that correct?
It does happen sometimes. Sometimes people want to let you know they're buying your books, but it is not the majority of cases. No, it's, they're buying.
She
your
said
books,
to him,
but
oh,
it is
hold on
not
a second.
the majority of cases.
I tried to rewind it. She said, "Hey, Nick. Hi, Nick. Thanks so much. That's really thoughtful of you, and I really appreciate the order as well. It was nice of you to message and offer support."
Your books, but it is not the majority of cases. No, it's, I wouldn't say it's common.
Okay. So I'm now going to go to number 7. That would be 1.94. Just so we're clear, the gray writing and the pink writing that is displayed on the screen, who is the gray writing?
The gray writing is Nick.
And the pink?
That's me.
Okay. And just if we could look specifically.
We want to see the whole message.
This first paragraph.
Yes.
Does he reference there specifically about losing his wife?
I hope the move goes well. I'm moving, especially in the context of other life upheaval. Sometimes feels overwhelming and stressful. I think moving feels like that always, but add in the other stuff and it's even worse. In the last 3 years, I've moved a couple of times. Learned pretty much everything I thought about myself was not true, and had my wife pass away. What? None of this is to try to compare. I don't do that. It's just to say I probably know some, though certainly not all, of the feelings you're dealing with right now. And if there's ever anything you need or want to talk about, the door's open. I neither mean to pry nor to suggest there aren't 100 people in your life better suited. Just here if I can help. Okay.
Yes, he does.
Okay, so if I were to read the line, in the last 3 years, I moved a couple times, learned pretty much everything I thought about myself was not true, and had my wife pass away. Is this what you were referring to?
Yes.
And when was this ultimately received by you?
October 18th, 2022.
And at that time, did you believe his wife was dead?
Yes.
Did he subsequently tell you that his wife also had been pregnant at the time she passed?
Yes.
Okay.
He was researching a new book.
Now, did he indicate at any time that he was in any other relationship, or just that that one had expired? Meaning the relationship had ended, that she had passed.
He never indicated that he was in any kind of relationship with any kind of romantic relationship with anybody.
Did you know if he had another wife that preceded the wife
No.
you just referenced?
No.
Okay. So at that time, you thought that the only time he had been married was to the woman he described on October 18th?
Yes.
Okay. Did he say how she died initially?
Yes, he said that she died in a hospital and that blood pressure complications and possibly an undiagnosed heart condition as well.
I'm now showing you the next slide. That would be 1.9.
Amy says she definitely got stuff to write about now. Oh, man.
Can you read us that paragraph starting she had?
She had an undiagnosed heart issue that was aggravated by her pregnancy, very sudden change in the way I thought life would look, but doing my best now to figure it out.
So he told you that in this tweet?
In this private message, yep, on Twitter.
What day did he tell you that?
October 22nd, 2022.
Did you know that his current wife was alive on that date at that time?
No.
I wish they would show the whole message. Oh, they did.
And he described it as a very sudden change?
Here we go. I'm sorry you've had a rough week. I'm glad you've bounced back, and I'm sure you'll knock it out quickly. She had an undiagnosed heart issue that was aggravated by her pregnancy. Oh, man, he's lying. Very sudden change in the way I thought life would look, but I'm doing my best now to figure it out. Calm terriers are so cute. I just looked them up. Oh, I'm sorry. That says Karen or Karen, some type of terrier. I've never heard of it before. Charlie must have been a cool little guy. I hoped not to stay in Georgia for all that long. Nothing against it. It's just not for me. I'm not really a city guy, but haven't really found a place outside the city that felt right. Thinking about options, I'd love to make a move and be more settled, so not rushing it.
Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Did he mention if they had children? Other than that she was pregnant when she passed?
No other children, just that she was pregnant and that that she lost he lost both her and the unborn child is what he told me, and that he had no other children. No.
Okay.
This is wild.
Did him telling you that his wife had passed impact your trust of Mr. Stark?
It definitely impacted me. It made me feel very sad and bad for him, because that's a terrible thing that could happen to somebody, to lose your wife and unborn child. That's how I felt at the time. I felt bad for him.
Okay. Did you convey that to him?
Yes, I felt empathy, because that's when I thought he had lost his wife and unborn child.
Did that also facilitate you continuing to chat with him?
I did continue to chat with him, yes.
And did that then progress to that more flirtatious and romantic stage that you described for the jury?
I would say more like emotional at first, because I had lost somebody close to me too, I thought too at the time. So more emotional, and then eventually flirtatious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, at some point, you said in December, he came to visit you. You had just moved, is that right?
I had moved in November. Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
So just like about a month prior.
Okay. And when he came to visit, did he stay with you in December of 2022?
No.
Why not?
Well, for one, I wouldn't have somebody stay with me just meeting them.
You sure about that?
And then two, he had Rusty, his dog, with him, and my house, I rent, and they don't allow pets.
Okay.
They don't allow any pets in the place.
Okay. And so, do you know where he was staying when he came in December?
When he came in December, I believed he was at an Airbnb in Pennsylvania.
Well, was your understanding, if I'm correct, that he was going to Missouri, he was going to visit you, and then he was going to Delaware? Is that right?
I think he was going to go back to Georgia first, because that was his home, but he did tell me he would have to live for several months in Delaware, because that's where he'd be working for the merger acquisition that he was the point person on. That was my understanding.
Okay. Did he move to Delaware, as far as you know?
I thought, that his company was putting him up in Delaware.
Okay.
And not that he had moved there, but that his company was providing long-term housing while he worked on this merger and acquisition.
Did you know if he had moved to Pennsylvania at some point after his Delaware trip?
I don't think he ever permanently moved to Pennsylvania. He stayed at Airbnbs in Pennsylvania when he was visiting me.
Let me be more clear.
Okay.
Was he staying in Pennsylvania in some location at some point while
Amy's not buying
the
it.
time period from December
Yes,
forward in 2022?
From December forward, to my knowledge, he was spending the work time in Delaware, and then he would spend some weekends in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
When he wasn't working in Delaware.
Okay. So as far as you knew, he was commuting basically from Delaware and staying back at the Airbnb in Pennsylvania.
Yes, that was my understanding. Yeah.
Okay. And when that was occurring, would it be fair to say what months?
I met him in December. It would have been, the last half of December,
We don't know.
January, February, March, April of 2023, and then that first half or so of May 2023 until the day he was arrested.
Okay. So during all that time, you weren't living together?
No, we were not. We never moved in together. We did stay at the same Airbnb, some Airbnbs that he rented together.
Okay. And at that point, you said that the relationship
2027,
grew,
yeah.
and it became a romantic relationship, correct?
Yes.
Did there come a time when he described to you the process of moving and what had happened with his belongings?
Yes, he told it like an anecdote in Twitter direct messages, I believe, about how he had moved previously, and some of his things I think were water damaged in a moving pod, like a storage pod.
Okay, I'm now going to turn to 1.96.
I don't know what's going on.
Would it be fair to say that sometime in early November you were talking about your move with him?
Yes.
Okay, and that's when he made the quip about his belongings?
Yes.
So I'm directing your attention to Exhibit 1.96, the paragraph that states, I highly recommend putting 85% of your belongings in a pod for a year that is defective and not actually watertight if you want help downsizing. Is that what you were referring to?
Yes.
And as a result of that, did you believe that he just didn't have a lot of things?
I believed that some of his things had been damaged. I don't know that I had a real image of how many things he had at that point.
Okay.
But that he had lost things, yeah.
Quite a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, those conversations and those tweets at the time, would it be fair to say that they were pretty innocuous? You didn't think very much about any of it, other than just banter?
Yeah, I'd say from that first message in September through October, and you can even notice in October sometimes there's gaps in days to where before I would respond, and probably even the first part of November, yeah, it felt very, very light, and then it picked up frequency, and I'd say emotional resonance. Yeah.
Okay. And at some point, did he talk to you about his work and moving and things of that nature?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to direct you to slide number 20. That for you would be 1.97. Would it be fair to that some of these
Good grief.
Got very personal?
Yes.
Can you tell us what he told you about his upbringing?
He told me that he had a very horrible upbringing, that he was abused.
What's the type?
Should I tell you just what's on this, or what he told me later in general?
I'm just referring to...
Just this, that he had a bad abusive upbringing, and that he found out late in life, as an adult, that he had been adopted, and that his parents, who he thought were his parents, were not his actual biological parents.
Did you believe that?
Yes.
So is that not true?
Now, in the weeks coming up to him visiting you in December, were there communications?
Yes.
I'm going to turn your attention to slide exhibit 1.98.
Mm-hmm.
This is slide 22.
He is a writer.
See where he references in the second paragraph, I'm trying to get a bit ahead on work so I can spend the next few weeks traveling. Did he indicate to you exactly where he planned on going? You can read that to us if that makes it easier.
Let's see. He said, I'm trying to get a bit ahead on work so I can spend the next few weeks traveling. I'll still be working, but like to have a little built-in cushion on projects when dealing with the vagaries of Wi-Fi on the road. Going to spend this weekend in Virginia, then New York, then on to New England until after Thanksgiving. So hopefully going to spend a little time poking around and seeing how a few spots feel in terms of life there. Seems like a better use of my time than the 45 Zillow emails I wake up to every morning.
So it was your understanding that in the weeks leading up to this email or text on November 8th that he was traveling?
That is correct, and this would have been far before the Missouri trip, he told me. And he told me, I don't know about like what he was doing in these places, but he did say that he met with one of his his biological father's lawyers during this time, I think was something he said in terms of that trip.
So at this point, you didn't have any reason to believe that he was homebound and couldn't leave his residence, right?
No.
I'm turning your attention to slide number 1.99.
You seem so.
Would it be fair to say that
This is wild.
also in November?
Yes.
Okay. And these were all leading up to the time period when he was coming to visit you? Or, well, I should say, when you were developing a relationship.
Yes. At this time, he had never, we were not even talking about, we had not talked about a visit that I can remember.
Okay.
That didn't come up till December.
Okay. So on November 10th, that last paragraph, can you read that for us?
Tomorrow, so I had asked, when do you leave in the previous message, and he says, tomorrow afternoon, going to get on the road a little early and hopefully miss the traffic. I always say that I'm going to sit down and come up with a list of things I need to pack and just save it so I can print it out every time and have the basic things figured, but I never have managed.
So as far as you knew, on November 10th, he told you he was going to be going on a road trip November 11th of 2022.
Yes, that's correct.
And still at that point, he never told you that he was unable to leave his residence, correct?
No, he never said he was unable to leave any residence.
Okay. Now, during your relationship, you indicated that at some point you shifted to some phone communication. Is that
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever use something called Signal app?
We did not use the Signal app to
Okay.
communicate.
Okay. Are you familiar with it?
I am. Mhm.
Okay. But you
He's
didn't
trying
use
to
that.
cover his tracks.
We didn't use it to communicate, no. And I didn't use it at that time, no.
What about Proton email?
I knew he used Proton email.
What the heck is
because
Proton
I
email?
think I saw it on some of the emails.
What?
I did not use Proton email. I had actually not, I didn't even know about Proton email until I saw it like in one of his emails. Like I can't remember what you call that, the @.com. Yeah.
Okay. But he didn't
What is
require you
this?
to use that with him?
I've never
No.
heard of it.
Okay. Can you tell the jury, in late November, when you and he had just started talking, did anything happen to your vehicle?
Yes.
Tell the jury what happened.
I had a flat tire on my
Okay.
car in November.
Okay. And did that prove to be problematic in any way?
I mean, just as problematic as a flat tire, would be to anyone. I was, moving, and then it definitely was like a hassle, yeah.
Timing not so convenient?
Yeah, and I'm very bad with cars, so
Okay.
car trouble stresses me out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Mr. Stark offer to assist in any way?
He did.
What did he do?
He offered, and keep in mind we had never met, and he offered like via messages, because we were talking on WhatsApp at that time. He offered to fix the flat. He had said that he could have my car towed to a repair shop and have the flat tire fixed.
And did he do that for you?
He did, and I was very surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
At
Why?
that point, I believe your first communication was October 18th of 2022. Be fair to say that was some approximately to 4 weeks later?
Our first communication was September
My apologies.
2022, and then I'm sorry, what was the second half of that?
How long had you known him before he had your tire fixed?
I mean, I wouldn't even say that I knew him at that time. I'd been messaging him online for, it would have been a month and a half to 2 months, somewhere in that range.
What did he have done for your car?
Okay, so he told me he was only going to fix the flat tire at the repair shop. When I got to the repair shop, my friend took me to pick up my car, I was very surprised because the clerk at the repair shop, he said that Nick had paid for 4 new tires.
Oh, look
and
at
I believe 2 new bulbs on the
what a guy.
the front headlights. I'm not 100% certain that's what it was called, but he did some kind of repair or something to the front headlights. I think it was new bulbs. Yeah.
Did you determine how much that cost?
It was a big bill. I mean, what I would consider big. It was like, I think it was $600 and something in that range. Yeah.
Was that concerning to you?
Yes.
What did you do as a result?
I felt a mix of feelings.
She felt some feelings. Okay.
I felt grateful as you do when somebody does something kind for you, but it also felt like a lot, and it already felt like a lot just to have somebody fix your my tire for me, and then the surprise of that it was 4 new tires and then like a bulb change or something. It was just a lot. It was a lot to the point that the clerk at the car shop, he said something like, "Is that your husband or is that your boyfriend? He is so nice." And I said, "No." I said, "He's just an acquaintance, you know."
Right.
Yeah.
Did you have a conversation with him about that? Boundaries?
Yes, he owed his ex-wife $1.5 million.
To get their opinion, because it was such a big gift. And then I did talk to him, and I said that was too much. That was a lot. You said it was going to be 1 tire, then you did 4. That's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in response to that conversation, well, let me be clear. Do you remember when you had that problem with your tire?
It was November of 2022. I do not remember the exact date.
Okay. Was it beginning of November, end of November, if you recall?
I think it was the last half of November of 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
And after you had the conversation with him about boundaries and too much, what did he do?
He had this sort of like, he apologized, he kind of played it off, and he said this endearing thing kind of to where he's just like, "I'm so sorry, you're right, that was an odd gift, most guys, I've just been he said something like, "I've been out of practice for a while, and here I am like thinking that he's been grieving for 2 years." And he's like, "I've just been out of practice, I haven't dated." He's like, "I just wanted to do something nice for you." He's like, "But yeah, you're right, tires." He's like, "Come on, like what guy gives a girl tires?" He's like, it should have been flowers, right? Or something. And I said, "Yeah, flowers would have been more appropriate, than the 4 new tires." And then it kind of became like a little, it's like that conversation changed it from something that felt alarming at first to something that felt like, oh, okay, like he hasn't been dating for a while, and he went overboard, you know what I mean? He must like me, and he went a little overboard in showing that. And it then became a little bit of an in joke throughout our relationship. He'd be like, "Oh, the tires, yeah, like what kind of guy gives a girl he's dating tires? That was so stupid of me," like that kind of thing he used to say. Yeah.
Did he subsequently give you flowers the following week?
Yes, about a week later, he had a very nice bouquet of flowers, like hand delivered to me, my house, for yeah.
Was that still in late November?
I believe so. If it wasn't late November, then it would have been probably the first week in December, but I think it was about a week after that, the tire repair. Yeah.
Wow.
At some point, did you and Mr. Stark get engaged?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall when that was?
It was April. Or no, I'm sorry, we got engaged. The reason I said April, we got married in April. We got engaged in February of 2023.
Do you remember the date?
I don't.
Okay.
I want to forget the date. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's February.
Okay.
She says she wants to
at some point in
forget.
February of 2023, you get engaged. And then did you ultimately apply to get married?
Yes.
Can you tell us, prior to
Oh, my.
Getting married, did you have to fill out paperwork for that?
Yes, he filled out the paperwork. And I think it was an online application.
Okay. And as a result, at this time, I'm going to show her 1.92.
This is crazy.
Do you recognize that document?
Yes.
What is that?
This is the marriage license application that was submitted for our marriage.
Okay. And do you recognize that to be just a photocopy of the original?
Yes.
At this time, I would seek to introduce 1 point, I believe, is that 9.2?
No objection, Your Honor.
It's admitted.
Can we please publish that? Thank you. And does that reference your names at the top of that?
Yes.
And was it required to indicate how many marriages this was for you?
Yes.
And does it indicate how many it was for Mr. Stark?
Yes.
And what was that?
He wrote that it was his second.
Did he indicate how his last marriage ended?
Yes.
And how was that?
Death,
And did he give a date of her death?
December 1st, 2020.
Wild.
And this was issued
So
when?
is there someone else?
April 13th, 2023.
Did it reference the names of his parents?
Yes, this is who he said were his biological parents. Edward Williams as his father, living in the UK, and Susan Fox, living in California, as his mother.
Did you understand that to be who he claimed were which parents, the adopted or the biological?
Biological parents that he had connected with and found out, later in life, as an adult. That's who I thought they were.
Does this also reflect the date that it was initially filed?
Yes, April 10th, 2023.
Yeah, I
And
want
both
the first
you
wife
and
to
Mr. Stark
testify.
had to sign that document?
Yes.
And did you?
Yes.
Those are both of your signatures?
Yes.
Okay. And that, of course, is your name also at the top, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now, did you subsequently actually get married?
Yes.
Okay. And you said that was also sometime in April?
Yes, that was in April.
What's up, Will?
2023, I believe, late April.
Okay. And prior to getting married, did you and Mr. Stark discuss your living arrangements? What
Yes.
you were going to do after you got married?
Yes.
Okay. What was the plan?
He was going to move to PA, and he wanted to buy a house, and then he said that we would both live in that house together. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And as a result of that,
Give me a second.
Who was going to pay for the house?
Nick Stark.
Okay. Did he indicate to you whether he was financially in a position to be able to afford the house without your assistance?
Yeah, that over time, but yes, yes, he said he was able to do that.
Okay, so he was going to be the one buying it.
Correct.
Okay. Was he responsible then for the arrangements for the finances?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell the jury, did you in fact start looking for houses together?
Yes.
Did you find any?
We did. At first, we were looking at houses for him because he said he was going to move to PA. And so it was just a house for him. And then as our relationship progressed, we started looking together. And we did. We found several that we liked, and then we landed on one, so to speak, or chose one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that ultimately result in an offer, acceptance, and a closing?
It resulted in an offer. He made an offer. I believe the offer was accepted. And if I'm thinking about it, it's because I'm not real estate. I've never bought a house before. And I think he had put a deposit or whatever, earnest money, whatever it's called in real estate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was there an actual closing date scheduled?
Yes.
Okay. So do you know when that was?
Yes.
When was that?
March 20th, 2023.
And why do you remember that date specifically?
It was a traumatic day.
What happened?
We were supposed to close that day, and in the morning I was still in bed. We were staying together at an Airbnb in Pennsylvania. I was still in bed, and he woke me up, and he said he looked like he had already been up for a bit, totally dressed, and he said that he was going to go run some errands and pick up the check for the closing, the cashier's check, and that he would be back before closing.
Do you remember when the closing was supposed to be?
I think it was around noon, but I'm not positive. I don't remember the exact hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was sometime during the day?
Yep, sometime during the day.
Okay.
Yes.
And he left to go get the check.
Yes.
Was he supposed to come back to the house?
Yes, he was. Yes,
Okay.
before closing. Yeah.
Did he have a car at that time?
Yes.
Do you know what type of car it was?
I believe it was, I could definitely recognize it if I saw it. I believe it was a Ford. It was kind of like an SUV, a larger SUV. I want to say it was a Ford Explorer.
Okay.
And I believe it was green.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at that point, he left to go pick up the check
Yes.
and was supposed to come home?
Yes.
Did he come home in timely fashion?
No.
What happened?
He wasn't home when I thought, he probably should have been. Like, it was getting closer and closer to the closing time. And so I started texting him, like, on WhatsApp, like, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? Because it felt unusual. And then I started calling him, and I wasn't getting through to him. It was either going, like, right to voicemail or just, like, clicking off. The connection was clicking off. And then I got a very alarming text message from him.
Okay.
And it said, or WhatsApp message, same thing. It said, my car buddy, because I think autocorrect, I just remember this text. It said, my car buddy into flames. And of course, like, reading that message, I'm like, buddy first, like the autocorrect. And I was just, that's such a strange message to ever receive. But so then I'm like calling him frantically, and I didn't get through to him. I got through to, or I might have gotten through to him for a second, and then he like handed the phone off. But then I talked to a paramedic or an EMT, some kind of like medical professional.
Was at the scene with him?
Yes, correct.
Okay. At that point, you said that he had been on his way to the bank. Is that right?
That's what he told. He said he had to run like some errands and also pick up the cashier's check or registered check from the bank, from Citizens Bank. Yep.
Did you know how much the check was for?
I do not remember the exact amount, but I can tell you it was something like, it was a large amount. It was $800,000, I want to say, or $850. It was a very large amount of money. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So is your understanding that he was picking up the check and that he had been involved in a car fire of some sort?
Car accident is what I was thinking at that time.
You thought car accident, okay.
Because even reading I was like, I couldn't really fathom what had actually happened,
Right.
But yes, some kind of car incident.
Did you know if the car was new?
I think it was pretty new. I don't think it was an old car.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at that point, did he go to the hospital?
So that's something, I asked the EMT or the paramedic, and I said, is he going to the hospital? Like what hospital can I meet him at? Those kinds of things. And she said, he doesn't want to go to the hospital. And I said, but are you, like, should he? Is he okay? Like I was asking like those kind of caring, concern questions.
Jeez.
And I still didn't really grasp. I didn't grasp what had happened to the car or how like severe it was, because I remember asking the paramedic or the EMT. I said, can you make sure he gets all of his things out of the car? And she kind of, I don't want to say chuckled. It wasn't like she was amused, but she was just like,
you can't do that.
Try, but I don't think there's anything left in that car. And hearing that, I still was like a little bit confused. I didn't understand the scope. And then, I asked, are you sure he's okay to not go to the hospital? And she said, well, he doesn't want to go. Like, we can't, yeah, he just wants to go back to you or whatever, or home,
When he got home, did you take him to the hospital?
Yes, I insisted on taking him to the hospital. I was concerned about him.
Why?
Well, when he walked through the door of the Airbnb, he was like crying a little. He was shaking. He had some he looked a little burned, like on his face, like he was missing. I want to say like half an eyebrow.
Oh no!
Like he had, yeah.
Okay. As a result, I'm going to show you 1.91. Do you recognize what's depicted in this photograph?
Yes.
What is that?
That would be his medical bracelet, like the bracelets they put on you at hospitals, and that was from his when I took him to the hospital.
Okay. And at this time, Your Honor, I would like to introduce that exhibit 1.91, I believe.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, it's admitted without objection.
I'm going to publish it. Did that reflect the admission date on it right there?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, there it is.
March 20th, 2023. Yep.
Thank you. That was the day of the closing as well?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And at that point, do you know what happened with respect to the car? In terms of the insurance? How did that go?
I still don't. Oh, you mean like the insurance? I don't know. I still don't know what happened really. We went to the hospital, and then I had asked him, "Did you call insurance?" And he said no. And I'm thinking he's in shock, and so I, encouraged him to do so. I said, "Well, you should report that, to your insurance company that you had an accident or a fire or whatever it was." And so I believe he did that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But initially it was your impression that he had not.
Correct. He was acting, I thought he was in shock because he wasn't doing the things that I had always been told to do if you have a car accident. And that was strange for him because he was usually such a intelligent, put together person. Like it just seemed odd. Like photos. I had asked him a day or two after the fire, I said, "Did you take any photos of your car? The damage?" And he said, "No." And he said, "Do you think I should?" And I said, I remember specifically saying this to him. I said, "Nick," I said, "you're a lawyer." I said, "What would you advise a client to do?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right. I'll go take photos." And so then he went
was
to
shook.
photos, and it was the photos that he showed me that I finally realized the extent of the damage to this car, and I was horrified.
Did you see the photographs yourself?
Yes.
How bad was the car?
As bad as you could possibly imagine. There was nothing, it was just a frame, it looked like, of the car left, like a metal frame.
There was
His
nothing.
eyebrow got burned
Yes,
off.
and then it made sense with the paramedic, her reaction, when I had asked to get his things out of the car.
After the
Yeah.
incident with the car, did you follow through? Because that happened, you said March 20th of 23.
Yes.
Did you follow through with your plans to get married?
Yes.
Okay. And
They still got
that's
married.
when we showed you the marriage license, is that correct? Or the application?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Did you know a woman by the name of Heather Thomas? Had he ever mentioned a
No.
woman by that name?
He mentioned he had a girlfriend named Heather. He said it was just a girlfriend. He said she had wanted to marry him and he did not want to, and they broke up, and that it was a messy breakup. That's what he had said.
Dang.
Never told you that was his wife?
No.
Never told you that he had divorced her?
No.
Did you know if he owed her any money?
No. He told me he was debt-free. He told me he owed nobody nothing.
He said he didn't know anything.
That's
You should have
correct.
taken that
He said he was
800,000 in
completely
the.
debt-free.
During your relationship with him,
Jeez.
did you discuss having children, the two of you?
Yes.
Did that seem important to him?
Very much so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at that point, did you make any arrangements to try and get pregnant?
Yes, around the time we got married. Yep.
Can you tell the jury what you did?
I went to a preconception appointment at my with a certified midwife at my OB office. Yep.
I wonder what they
So
said.
that was right around what point in time?
Right around the date of our marriage. Yep.
Okay, so that was right away.
Yes, that's correct.
She wanted to have his baby.
Now, you've testified that you had no idea that Mr. Kassotis had a first wife, no less a second wife, correct?
That's correct.
And
He didn't have. I testified that he didn't have. What do you mean by that?
let me clarify that. It was your testimony that you didn't know that his wife was alive when he first met you.
No, I did not know that.
And at this point,
His
you
wife,
didn't
Heather?
know either that there was potentially a first wife named Heather Thomas.
Right.
She's
that's
talking
what I
about
thought you
Mindy.
were- Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know he had a wife before.
Okay, can you tell us how you came to learn of those things?
I came to learn of those things through Agent, over the course of several
Sands.
conversations with Agent Tracy Sands of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation after Nick was arrested.
Do you see
Yikes.
Agent Sands here today?
I do.
He's so
Can you point him
awkward.
out for us?
He's right there next to you. Yep, in the middle. Yeah.
If the record can so reflect, Your Honor. And can you tell us, how did it make you feel learning that
Dang.
he had not only the first wife who had passed, but the second wife from before her?
I don't think words will ever capture how I felt, but I felt if I had to choose some words, I'd say horrified, shocked, traumatized, violated, deceived.
What did you do?
In the days that followed his arrest,
She's
I
never going to be in a
contacted
relationship again.
Agent Sands multiple times.
You get divorced and then this is your first relationship? Sheesh.
After learning that, I tried to be as helpful as I could be because I was horrified. And so, in the days that followed, I took pictures of all the belongings that he had
Dang.
in the Airbnb and sent the photos to Agent Sands and asked if they needed anything of his belongings. And they requested some of those, and I had them shipped to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
She probably wanted to
And
burn
then
him.
I also, like his laptops, his phones, and when I say laptops and phones, because he had one for work, one for personal, and then I also started looking messages, emails, anything that I thought the Georgia Bureau of Investigation might want to see. It was just,
It's tough.
I was still in shock, but I knew that I wanted to be helpful because what I was hearing was so horrifying and I had no idea. And so I was trying to be as helpful in those immediate days as I could be.
What did you do about your marriage?
I wanted it annulled because I felt like the marriage and everything in the marriage was not consensual because of his fraud, and I wanted it annulled. And annulment in Pennsylvania is very difficult. It's very, very rigid about the requirements to get an annulment. It has to be fraud, or like some very specific other things. So it was very hard to get a lawyer who would actually even pursue it, but I did get one, and we filed for an annulment and a divorce at the same time in case the annulment wouldn't go through. There are not a lot of annulments in Pennsylvania, to my understanding. And then I had to wait several months before we could go to a hearing, and we went to a hearing at a court of common pleas in Pennsylvania. And
Did you get an annulment?
And the judge, yes, the judge
Wow.
the judge in Pennsylvania granted my annulment on the basis of his fraud. And so that was that's very rare in Pennsylvania that they do that. So the marriage was declared null and void because he
It's going in her book.
committed fraud against me.
Do you know whatever happened to the house that you were supposed to buy?
I have no idea.
Did you ever buy it?
No,
Did you ever move into a house that he purchased?
no.
Did you ever see that check that was supposed to be
No.
picked up?
No, he said the check burned in the car fire. The cashier's check. Yeah.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Dang.
Mr. Weinstein, cross-examination.
Can't imagine there would be much here. We'll see.
Good morning, Ms. Klasser. I'm Doug Weinstein. I represent Nick Kassotis. I just have a question for you.
Look how
about
she's
the
looking at Doug.
Down payment on the home. Do you recall
Dang.
Nick Kassotis putting a $50,000 down payment on that house?
He said he did, yes.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Anything else?
Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. You're excused.
Oh, I cannot wait to see this case by the defense. Nick. I swear, I think Nick is 007. I don't know what's going on out here. He was trying to cover up something. We don't know what. But we've got so many of y'all saying, man, this guy is guilty. Doug Weinstein's asking about a down payment on the house. I don't know what the defense is going to do here. Y'all have to let me know what you think in the comments in the chat.